No, I gotta do a little cold opening crap. That's right.
No, you say this.
No, fuck off,
No,
Abe.
say
I know
this
how to
is
do this. I gotta be
no
like,
say this is where
today
the
on the
cold opening is
summit.
supposed to be, but we're too cold, we're too hot for that shit.
She's okay, Abe. You should go and work for Pop Tarts with a great ad like that. Okay, with a great phrase like that.
Thank you.
Fuck. All right.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Schmoedown Summit. I know what you're thinking. What is the Schmoedown Summit? Why is it in my feed? I don't remember this being a thing. Well, you know what? That's because we all have lives, and this is the biggest point that we don't get paid to talk about the Schmoedown.
And Kristen is having a baby.
Yeah, that too. So she's not here. So I'm here, guys. This is the beginning of my reign. I'm here. I am now, yes, our wonderful co-worker here on Take 3, Kristen Smith, has taken her time off for her new family things happening, and she's put me in charge. So you guys will now see me in charge of the summit. Things are gonna get weird, but not really. Well, things are weird today, but not really because of my doing, because of other things doings. But before we get to the Anarchy tournament, let's who's on the panel with us? We have first. He's always on the summit, and we're always happy to have him on the summit. It's Take 3's own Malcolm Godile. How are you doing, Malcolm?
Pretty good. Just ready to get rid.
I like that. I like that. That's another one of our possible TeePublic shirts that may or may not be coming. You know what? TeePublic will come at the same time we launch a Patreon, which is when we think people will actually give us money. We also have a guy who might give us money. I don't know. Hunter, how are you, buddy?
Well, I wish I had money to give you, but I'm currently broke as hell. But thank you for having me on Take 3. Thank you for having me on the summit. Let's have some fun.
Shut up, Abe. We also have Abe, but he doesn't want to appear on camera. So
I'm dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Alright, guys, so like I may have alluded to in the cold opening, you know, with the anarchy, the corruption, if you guys didn't see my Twitter video, I am supporting Mike Kalinowski again, and so you know what? I kind of just flushed out any videos this week that didn't have him in it, so, you know, I just forgot about him. So we're gonna be talking about Shirewolves versus World's Finest. This was the #1 contenders match for teams, which I know you're saying, how can you have a #1 contenders match when there's no champion? Well, the Schmoedown did it anyway. So of course we have Shirewolves and World's Finest. Round 1, of course, Shirewolves, they perform, as always, extremely well. The round ends in their favor, 14-10. World's Finest had a little bit of a slow start. Round 2, Shirewolves, they choose to spin first, and they spin Oscar movies, and they go with it, and they gain 8 points, with World's Finest only stealing a couple. World's Finest then spins comic book movies, one of their strengths, and ends up with 9 points. This was a pretty good round 2. It was the battle of the strengths. Of course, Shirewolves were able to steal some points from World's Finest. And then, of course, we get into round 3. This match, I know I'm going through it kind of quick, but that's because, sadly, World's Finest, they missed all of their questions, and Shirewolves won this match by TKO. Of course, in classic standings, classic things that happen in Schmoedown, World's Finest, they should have switched questions. The one who got the 2-pointer, Winston, knew Eric's 3-pointer, and Eric knew Winston's 2-pointer, but they weren't answering those. I also wrote World's Finest 3-pointer. That was my Amazing Spider-Man quote, so you guys are welcome for losing, I guess. The post-match interviews, nothing of note really happened. Shirewolves are just looking forward to who they're competing for the belt. World's Finest are a little upset they decided that they're never going to switch costumes, as they said, switch attire. Yeah, and pretty much nothing of note happened whatsoever in the post-match interviews for this match. You know, it's just pretty. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why Matt has notes. Oh yeah, that's right. Brianne Chandler, she decides that she is cashing in her free-for-all win to play the Shire Wolves in the team match for the team belts, the championship match. With who? We don't know, because Brianne Chandler likes to tease us. We have no idea who her teammate is, which of course leads to the Summit's favorite time, and it still doesn't have a graphic. It's speculation time! Okay, so this is... Malcolm, who do you think could be Brianne Chandler's partner?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got a feeling it could be Kalinowski, but I would like it to be someone that's not already in the Anarchy tournament, and it be like someone like Mara. Nopick would be a good pick, actually.
Okay, Hunter, who do you think could be Brienne's partner?
Well, I've got two. One, I agree with Malcolm. It's, I think it's going to be Mara Knopick. Just because the way she worded it, she said, a woman is going, women are going to hold the tag belts. Now that's what got me. It could either be Mara or it could be Stacey Howard. They could reform that team, but just those are my two picks. Just based on the wording that she said in that post-match interview.
Yeah, the wording is definitely... I don't remember the exact wording I wrote. It was something to the effect, which I'm totally fine and happy with, which is we're going to have, at the end of the day, female champs, which led me to believe that it's probably not a Kalinowski and McMooney. I feel like she is going to get a female partner, which is awesome. I'm going to go for a long shot here, and I think we're going to see... she's competed a couple of times. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about her. Her name's Clark Wolf. I just think that would be really interesting. No, that would make me laugh so much. I don't know how you do that, but...
Actually, want one handicap match again for Rachel?
Oh, be quiet. Abe, stop. I'm not drunk. God. I'm more just thinking about the fact that this is going to be a really short episode because I forgot to watch Tuesday's match because I didn't think I was hosting this. Back to, I was thinking it could be Mara, just because in Air Geekdom she has shown she's very knowledgeable. I'm not sure how she is in regular movies, but from things I've heard from people, she's apparently also very well versed in that. I mean, Stacey Howard, it's always possible. If she, it's always possible that there might be a who knows with the corruption angle. Stacey Howard might have gotten a letter about Jay Washington or Janine or something that might lead to fracturing of the Viper Squad. Really, this is the thing I like about the Schmoedown, and we're definitely going to get into this for our next discussion, which is when I really don't know. When there's really only a couple of things that might be hinting towards something, but we don't really know. Like, it's not like we I don't know. I just really like that.
It's not like we can predict what's going to happen. It's very up in the air.
Yeah, it's very up in the air, and of course, this leads into our discussion of, along with the Shire Wolves video, we had the announcement of the Anarchy Team Tournament, which if you have been paying attention to post-credit scenes, the MTS page, Twitter, the Anarchy Tournament is pretty much all the teams, they've been split. Their names got thrown to a hat, and they were randomly selected by #NotMyCommish, Tad Williams, and Mike the Savior Kalinowski, and it's a crazy thing, and we're going to get into this now. I want to first just kind of talk about, before we get into the teams, what were your guys' initial thoughts when the Anarchy tournament was announced? Hunter, I'm going to start with you.
Well, when I first heard it, I was like, that's kind of weird because I saw the graphic Anarchy. I was like, oh, what could that be? And then they explained it more. No teams, no super teams, which we saw later on. We'll talk about that. But I thought it was very interesting. I was like, that is a way to really change things up. And with all the teams, we got with the weird pairings and stuff, it makes it so fun and so unique that you have so many combinations that could work, won't work, they have to work, just stuff like that. It's something that Kalinowski would do.
Yeah, definitely. Malcolm, what were your thoughts about the Anarchy tournament?
Yeah, I mean, when I thought it was like, I thought the same. It's like, okay, this is weird. This is going to be interesting. And I mean, I don't think his goal was to get rid of super teams because, as it happened anyway. But I think his goal was to mix it up because if you used all the teams that went in, because there wasn't a lot of new teams that could have probably taken over, but you would have had just the same teams in the final four, which can get really boring. So
Yeah.
I mean, so this mixes it up, and yeah.
Yeah, I definitely remember when it was first announced. I was a little annoyed because I was like, well, now we won't see like top 10 or Action or Charwolves or Crickly, kind of like some of these teams that we've really come to love compete in the tournament. But I was also really excited by what it could mean. I never looked at it, and I don't remember them saying anything about super teams. I never looked at it as like them trying to get rid of super teams because honestly, that's a discussion we can have if we want afterwards about super teams in the Schmoedown. But yeah, it's exciting that we don't know. But of course, now everyone was trying to think, what are the teams going to be? Now we know what the teams are going to be. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go through each team. We're going to talk about a little bit about them, what we think could possibly, what strengths, what things could they bring to this teaming, and then we'll get into a different discussion after that. So the first team that was brought up, you know what else we're going to do? This is something I just made up on the spot. We're going to try and guess what the team name is going to be. Yeah. Okay, so the first team up, we have Matt Nost and William the Beast Bibiani with their manager, Emma Fife. So first off, Malcolm, what do you think about this pairing? Do you like this pairing? Do you not like this pairing? And what do you think the team name is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, Bibiani Nost it's an interesting team because, I mean, to see that Matt Nost didn't opt to be a manager instead of just actually competing is actually surprised me. But I mean, it's good to see him competing because he is actually really good, and I don't think he actually knows it himself. But and I think the pairing's really good because Bibio's probably got about the same strengths as Roka did, but it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic because they're two former horsemen, so there could be that tension still there, and M5 as a manager will probably be able to rein them in as well. So, and as for team name, I really don't know. Maybe Pizza Beasts.
Maybe. Hunter, what do you think about this pairing?
Goddamn, Malcolm, you stole my name. I'll say that too. But this pairing is, it's not the ones that really surprised me because I kind of thought they would do something with the horsemen and stuff like that. So I am surprised that Matt Nost got teamed with Bibbs, but this is pretty much kind of just top 10. I mean, if you look at it, William and Roka pretty much have the exact same strengths. So I feel like they're both well-rounded. So this is pretty much just top 10 over again with Bibiani in replacing Roka.
Yeah, and of course, he already stole your name. Personally, I like this pairing. I think, like you guys have said, Bibiani definitely has strengths similar to Roca, and Nost is one of those players that I think just because of his record, people look down on him in singles, and they're like, "Oh, he sucks at trivia. Why does he compete?" He's just had some bad luck, and several times in top 10 matches, he's shown that he knows what he's. So that's why I'm glad that he wasn't a manager. I'm glad because he does have the trash and he does have this, but he does know movie trivia, and I like this pairing. I think it's going to be interesting to see the interplay between them, and that's just not just for this team, just for a lot we'll talk about, where it's like these are two former faction mates, and now they're competing together. Are they going to squabble? And Emma, it's going to be interesting with Emma. I think with Nost and Bibiani, she's fine. It'd be a little bit more interesting if we had, like, I don't know, if we had Emma with, like, Snyder or GT, like, something like that, where there's a little bit more history, I'd say. But I think Emma is a good fit for Nost and Bibiani. The pizza, I feel like they're probably going to have something with the name. I don't know. The next team announced was, of course, spoilers for another talking point, my favorite team, which we have Mark Yodi Riley returning to the Schmoedown. He is being paired up with Ben the Boss Bateman with their manager, Tom Dagnino. The Schmoedown gods have looked down on me, and they've given me this team. Oh my god. I'm sorry to Malcolm and Hunter. I'm talking about this first. This is awesome. Okay, because here's the thing. Bateman and Riley have really good strengths that complement each other. Riley definitely has some inner geekdom stuff that Bateman doesn't, or at least hasn't been able to show he has in his singles team matches. So I think this is a great pairing. I'm interested to see after the events of Collision where Bateman stole Cal, or allegedly stole Cal, to see what the interplay. And then, of course, we're throwing Tom Dagnino in there, which we get to have Tom Dagnino on the mic again, which is just amazing. I'm so excited that this team has formed for their team name. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. Like, Men of Action, like, I feel like they're going to do some Superman team action kind of, like, mesh. Zero Valor, Tom Dagnino, it's just going to be Tommy's Boys. I'll go with that. It's Tommy's Boys. Okay, Hunter, what do you think about this pairing? If you don't like it, the door is that way.
Oh, no, I love it. I love this team. I'm a huge fan of team action. Ben Bateman is one of my favorite characters, along with Andrew God. That they play great characters, and they're great in the game. And Yodi's a legend. Mark Riley is an absolute Hall of Famer. Put those together, the interactions and the banter back and forth would be very entertaining. Sucks, though, that we won't get team action together, because I'm a huge fan of them, but this is the next best thing, and I'm taking your name for Men in Action. I like that one.
And Malcolm, what do you think about this?
Yeah, this one is really interesting. And actually, it's going to bring up something that a question I'm going to have. In the matches leading up to the tournament, because you've got Mark Riley versus Andrew Guy coming up before the tournament, will Ben come out with Mark, or will we come out with Andrew? Because that's going to be one that we don't really know, because whether these teams are just for the tournament or if they have to come out with each other, if they have a singles match beforehand. I
think it's just for the tournament.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's smart. It's a smart pairing, and it means Ben might be able to taste some success. But
whoa. Does being a finalist in last year's team tournament not mean anything to success?
No, in all seriousness,
did he not beat Scott Mance 1-on-1 for his wheel slice?
Yeah, is he not now the face of movie release dates?
Release dates?
Jeez, Malcolm, I thought I knew you. Ew.
And
I
also,
just can't.
it's
Yeah,
this,
oh,
I just like causing chaos on Summit.
oh, okay. Yeah, this is what we call backpedaling. It's just like Malcolm's like, yeah, I was just causing chaos.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely. All right, before I jump from my screen and attack Malcolm on air, let's move on to the next pairing, which is, now this brings up an interesting point that I'll get to after the pairing, which is we have Devin Stewart of the Kingsmen paired with Miss Movies Brianne Chandler with their manager Markia McCarthy. It's interesting, Markia, of course, we've only seen her compete once against Rachel Cushing, but she was one of the competitors who chose to be a manager instead of having her hat thrown in the ring as a competitor. Before we get to this begins the thing of the pairings of Brianne, Rachel, and Clark may not happen based on what takes place, and possibly depending on who Brianne Chandler's partner is. Like, let's say her partner is Matt Nost. If Brianne and Matt Nost, let's say, won the team titles, these two teams wouldn't exist, nor would if Shire Wolves win, their teams won't exist, which makes this... It upsets me because there are some pairings that I really am excited for, and that if a respective team wins the team titles, then we're not going to get to see them. But we can talk about that later with another discussion point. What do you guys think about Devin and Brianne as a team with Markia as their manager? Malcolm.
Well, I mean, Devin is the best half of the Kingsman that's not actually saying much. Brienne's good. I like her. But I mean, this one is one of those ones which doesn't make a lot of sense. And I mean, for team name, I'm going to steal one from JTH that he said. I need a replacement.
Whoa. Wow. Just get it. Wow. I don't remember what movie this is from, but you just be pissing everybody off. Damn, Malcolm.
It's running from a joke that Brianne actually put up there. But she posted a image of the cutscene after she talked to Mike of her like down like that, and offering money for a competitor to switch places.
I will gladly take your money, Brianne, and compete. I'm not Devin. Not gonna say I'm gonna do well, but I could do a fake British accent like you if you want me to. I hung out with your Kingsman buddy at Comic-Con, so you know I got that going for me. So yeah, Brianne, you wanna call me or something? You got my number? Not really, but you know,
not really.
_Matthew on Twitter. Feel free to DM me. I don't know where to go from here. Hunter, what do you think about this pairing or the possible pairing of me and Devin?
That was a great transition, but this is also a weird pairing. You could tell this one was actually the randomized pairings. You know, like, because it's so awkward because I do feel like if this team does happen, then probably, I hate to say this because, you know, I actually like the Kingsmen for what they were. They were really good, like, kind of fake, entertaining.
The Kingsmen are gonna just, you could just say it straight out.
Brianne would carry him. Brianne would carry him. And I really hope that doesn't happen. For names, you know, it's gonna sound stupid, but like Kings and Queens or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like they would do like Kings, Kings people. Maybe we'd just be really PC about it. I don't know. You know, Devin, you haven't seen him play since the last Kingsman match,
which was against the Wildberries, correct?
Yeah, I don't remember him being spectacular. The most I remember is him in the post-match interview. which he was fantastic in. You don't remember? It's the one when he broke his posh British accent and just went, and it was amazing. Brienne Chandler, of course. I love Brienne. She's awesome. I would be interested in this pairing. More so, I'd be interested to see what would Brienne do entrance-wise with Devin. What would Devin be up for? You know?
Oh, yeah.
And Markia, we just haven't spent enough time with her to really get a fix on her character. But I think the fact that we have Brienne, of course, formerly a part of the Misfits. We have Markia, Viper Squad. I think this could definitely be an interesting sort of she's a manager. Yeah, go Hunter.
Sorry. With Makia being, next to Jay all the time, and she can really get that manager skills from him. She can learn off of him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what the managers do in this tournament. That's first and foremost. Next we have this is a pretty awesome pairing. We have Janine the Machine with Ethan Irwin, and their manager is Jay Washington. Hunter, I'm going to go to you first. What do you think about this pairing? What do you think about this pairing with Jay as their manager, and what do you think their team name could be?
This is a great team. Janine really impressed me in her, one of the 2 or 3 matches that she's had so far. And Ethan is contender for Rookie of the Year, without a doubt. He's impressed the hell out of me, too. Put those two together, and you're pretty much, they work off each other's weaknesses, which is something that a good team does. And this team is, I'm not going to say that they're going to win the whole thing, but I could see semifinals, maybe finals action if they really play a incredible game, which I know they can. Team names, like the Machines or something like that, I don't know. And Jay Washington is going to be a great mouthpiece.
Malcolm, what do you think about this pairing?
Yeah, Ethan and Janine is just one that makes a lot of sense because Ethan is really good, and just a few matches Janine's had, has shown that she isn't just there because she doesn't know stuff. She's there because she does know stuff herself. So, this one's hard to come up with a team name for. But,
the Machine, Time Machines.
Yeah. Because big picture of Machines or something like that.
Just make up anything, Malcolm. Who knows? They might listen to this and be like, "Oh, that's a real good team name," and then you can sue them for licensing rights. Think about it. Think about it. I love. This is the type of stuff that I want to see out of this tournament. For one, we have Janine and Ethan on their own, are great singles competitors, and they're also former opponents. And now we're putting them together with Jay as Janine's manager still. So it's like, it's going to be interesting because it's going to be Jay kind of just trying to push up Janine and kind of like slapping Ethan away. Like, what's his role going to be in this? How is Janine going to play off Ethan? It is going to be interesting to see this team. I think this is definitely a very interesting team up. Next, we have Mike Kalinowski and Chance Ellison with their manager, Ken Knapsack. Now, of course, we all know Mike Kalinowski. A lot of people don't know Chance Ellison. He is a big competitor in worldwide movie games. You can find that channel on YouTube. I don't know what the backstory of him with the Schmoedown is. I'm not sure if he's a patron of that tier where you get an audition, or he was walking down the street past Collider and Harloff was just like, "Hey, you look like you know trivia. Do you want to play?" And he was like, "Who are you?" And I don't know. I don't know if people don't tell me things, but shut up, Abe. Shut up, Abe. You're so mean. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. Yeah, I don't know, but we have a fan. We have one of our own who is competing in the Schmoedown. We already saw that with I'm not sure if we were ever given his name, but he's wearing a Lakers jersey, and he went up with Rosie McKnight after
Matt
their
Cruz.
match. I'm sorry?
Matt Cruz.
Matt Cruz. Okay, I didn't know his name was released. We have Matt Cruz is going to be playing Rosie McKnight. I'm just really excited. This is like when late to the party first starting teams. It's just really cool to start to see fans who are really good at trivia who are now getting to compete. Late to the party, speaking of which, Chance did a reaction with them. They posted it in the MTS page. So if you want to go and see him play along with a Schmoedown match, you can go and watch that. This is going to be an interesting pairing. We, of course, have Ken Knapsack as the manager, which I'm excited to see. So, Hunter, what do you think about this pairing, and what do you think the team name could be?
Well, this pairing actually shocked me because Chance is a close friend of mine, and I didn't know anything about this. But if you guys do want to, I'm gonna do a plug right here for me. I hope you don't mind. I had an interview with Chance yesterday. That's on my channel, Film Nerd TV, and we discussed everything from Schmoedown, everything like that. So.
Oh really? Really? Okay,
yeah,
so you took an interview from us. All right, no, that's fine. That's cool. And now you're plugging it on my show. Okay, no, that's cool. That's cool, Hunter. Okay. No, guys, seriously, go and support Hunter and Chance and go and check out their interview. Link can be found in Hunter's comment because we're not putting that in our description because that's not how we roll. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
But yeah, Chance is a great player. Chance is one of the best in the YouTube trivia leagues that we do down here. Held belts in 5 different leagues. I mean, the dude definitely knows his stuff, and to be teamed with Kalinowski was kind of shocking because that means he's going to be integrated in the main story of the whole Schmoedown this season, which I'm very excited for. And for team names, it's been gone around as Cobra with KO as the Cobra sign. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Chance, if you're watching this, buddy, you would probably kick my butt in a movie trivia match. But when you say you held a belt for an internet movie trivia, is there someone who makes a belt and ships it out to Chance? Come on, guys, stop being so figurative. I only live in the literal world. Only literal.
Are you?
Let me talk about Star Wars. No, this is exciting. I was thinking they were gonna do like corruption or something. Cobra though with the KO would be cool because all we want to do is, since the 90s with Mortal Kombat, we just want to teach kids how to spell things incorrectly, replacing K with C. All we want to do. And now I'm thinking Abe, my name might be spelled with a C instead of a K now. It's entirely possible. But Malcolm, what do you think about this pairing?
Yeah, I mean, I had an inkling that something was up with Chance because over the past few weeks he's been sort of relinquishing all his belts, and as like he wouldn't normally do that if there was something big about it. But yeah. But as for this pairing, it makes sense. I mean, Kalinowski acted like he didn't know who Chance was, but I'm pretty sure he knew who he was, and I'm pretty sure. And I mean, Kalinowski should be grateful. I mean, Chance is a beast at trivia. He's really good.
Whoa! The title of this episode is going to be Malcolm says things to just annoy Matt. Grateful? Mike Kalinowski should be grateful. Maybe you should reverse that to maybe Chance should be grateful that Mike made this whole tournament so he could compete in it. Do you ever think of that, Malcolm? Yeah, it's called winning logic. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we're just going to move on to the next one because I don't want to hear it. I don't care if you have any more, Malcolm. Yeah, okay. Me and Malcolm are no longer friends. I'm canceling my trip to New Zealand now. Not that I had one planned, but certainly don't now. Okay, so next team we have is this is a pretty awesome team we have here. We have Jeff Snyder and Mark Andrico with Roxy Strider as their manager. Which, if you watch the video, Jeff Snyder very excited to have Mark Andrico as his teammates. I'm going to take this one first. This is an interesting pairing. We, of course, have two members of the Lions Den back together again. We, of course, have Jeff Snyder, who just broke up with JTE as the Patriots, broke away from pretty much broke up the Lions Den faction. He is now competing with Mark Andrico. I'm interested to see what the dynamic between them is going to be. Trivia-wise, I think this is a great pairing. I think, kind of like what I said with Riley and Bateman, I think Andrico covers a lot of the inner geekdom type categories that Jeff maybe hasn't shown that he's super, super well in. But that's good. That's the pairings we want to see. Roxy is, of course, awesome. So her being involved in this is going to be great. I'm also interested to sort of see what Jeff Snyder do we get. Because we've been so used now to the Patriots Lions Den one. Just remember Jeff didn't change too much. He was always kind of a cool-headed, cocky guy. But do those two pairings work? I don't know, and I don't care. So I'm interested to sort of see if he reworks his character, if he sort of, this change comes. As for team names, I don't know, Patriot Killers, something like that. I don't know. Malcolm, what do you think about this team up?
Yeah, this team up is interesting because for the longest time I actually was almost convinced that they were going to use Anarchy to force JTE and Jeff back together and have the big tension in between them, but they didn't do it that way. But there's probably still some lingering tension because they're both former Lions Den members still. So so it's going to be an interesting team altogether. And for names, the Android and Schneiders or something like that.
Okay. I just love watching Malcolm try to struggle. Like, I don't know what a name is. What is this? Hunter, what do you think about this team up?
Oh, this is a very well. Matt, game-wise, it's a very good team because both know their trivia and have shown that they know it. I am kind of wondering if this is going to lead towards a Snyder face turn, potentially. Maybe with him ending the Patriots and then being teamed up with Andrico. Maybe Andrico can kind of turn him somewhat, use that as a way to kind of turn him face, and then have him and JTE go one-on-one, which would be kind of a cool rivalry going on. But for team names, I was thinking like the Android or something like that, just to kind of be funny. But
what about Candy Crush?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I think that's trademarked. I don't know. My iPhone might sue them. I don't know. So yeah, we're all pretty excited. This next pairing, absolutely no one wanted to see this. We have Josh McCouga and Elliot Dewberry.
Wilbers.
Wilbers!
Wilbers! Wilbers! Woo! Woo! There's nothing to say. We all love the Wildberries already. The only thing is now Ricky Hayberg is now their manager. Of course, Ricky, former teammate of Elliot Dewberry, so we're gonna have that in the mix. Yeah, this is hilarious. I'm so excited. There's not really much for us. I guess we'll just go around it. What do you think? What kind of mayhem do you think Ricky is going to bring to this? Hunter, I'll go to you first.
I I feel like Ricky's going to try to break up the Wildberries, but it's not going to happen because Wildberries for life. Josh and Elliot are just going to have fun. They may not win, but they're going to have fun doing it.
I mean, you know, what Josh McCouga say in our free-for-all video, we don't win belts, we just sell shirts.
Shirts. Yep.
That's what they do. Malcolm, what kind of mayhem do you think Ricky is going to bring to this?
No more than the usual mayhem that Josh McCouga and Elliot already bring. But yeah, keeping them together, it makes sense because they need to sell shirts and they always promote T Public, so it makes sense.
It just makes sense. I think what's going to happen is I feel like in their first match, like Ricky is just going to be on the mic with them. He's just going to be trash talking about how bad they are. And McCougan and Elliot are just going to kick him out. And he's not going to be their manager anymore. That's what I think is going to happen. The next team we have is, again, this goes into this may not happen. We have Rachel Cushing and the God Killer Andrew Guy on a team with Clark's favorite Robert Meyer Burnett as their manager. Malcolm, what do you think about this pairing? What do you think about Burnett stepping into a manager position, and what do you think the team name could be?
This is a interesting pairing because you've got, on one hand, you've got Rachel, who's had a lot of problems with team action of the past, but as you said, she might not have to deal with them at all. But yeah, it's an interesting pairing because you got Rachel, who's got like all the geekdom knowledge and stuff, and you got Andrew, which may know all the other stuff, other random stuff that for some reason Rachel might not know for some reason. But Rachel seems to know everything at this point. And as for team names, I actually thought about this very carefully. I think Shy Guys might be a good one.
I love how the one team name Malcolm actually gave thought just so happens to be the Tolkien reference one. Okay, that just makes total sense. It's like, yeah, that's what he said around. He was like, all right, this is one that could be a Lord of the Rings reference. I like this. This is good. Hunter, what do you think about this pairing?
Oh, I think this pairing, if it happens, is going to be amazing. Rachel is amazing in movies and in her geekdom, so she's going to bring a lot of different strength. And Andrew Guy is incredible. He's a great heel character, and he knows his shit. He beat the GOAT himself, Dan Murrell. You know, clean as a whistle. Get out of here, Dan. And the name I have is the Goat Crushers.
Okay, so I'm going to first talk about the thing no one has been talking about, which is Ron Meyer Burnett stepping into the manager role. I feel like this is kind of right for him. This is no offense to Rob as a competitor. Again, probably would kick my butt in an Inner Geekdom match. But I just feel like with his character, and I don't just mean like his Schmoedown character, I mean just like his charisma, his personality, really fits well into the manager role. Like, I feel like for this team, he could bring something really, really interesting. And we, of course, have Rachel Cushing and Andrew Guy, who don't quite like each other. And we have this rivalry between Team Action Chambless already happening now. We put them together. And what's going to happen? Who knows? And I'm so excited, but I'm also being very reserved because I'm not sure if this team is going to happen. If it does, I think the team name should be the God Killers or the God Crushers, something like that. Let's move on to Winston Marshall and Stacey Howard with their manager, Coy Jandrew. I'm going to start on this one first. Winston Marshall, we, of course, just talked about with World's Finest. He's fine. Like, he's a guy who, and again, I never want to insult Schmoedown competitors because they're doing something that I don't do. He's never seemed like he can break his way into singles and like win the belt. But he's pretty good. I mean, he helped to get his team to a #1 contenders match. Stacey Howard, on the other hand, people sleep on how good of a competitor she is. She really knows her stuff, and that's why I'm interested to see what this pairing is going to be. And then Andrew. I've had several, not mean words, but I've had words about him in Inner Geekdom, mostly to do with studying. I'm interested to see him in a managerial role. For team names, I have no idea. Howard the Duck, I don't know. Malcolm, what do you think about this pairing?
Yeah, this is an interesting pairing. I mean, Stacey's, as you said, Stacey's really good. Winston has shown that he knows enough to not hinder his team. Because, so, I mean, he's good. Like, I think Zip is probably the better part of World's Finest, but I mean, they're both just as good if you get where I'm going with that. And with Koi stepping into manager, it's another one that the charisma and that makes sense. I mean, like, I think Koi's one of those ones that if you talk to him, I think he's one of the ones that admits that, like, he does trivia for fun. He may not really be looking forward for a belt or anything, but he does it for fun. But yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do. And it's just a shame that this team's going up a juggernaut of a team, which we'll get to later. So,
we will. Hunter, what do you think about this pairing?
This pairing is very interesting. Never sleep on Stacey Howard. She's an incredible an incredible player. I just haven't seen enough of Winston to make a judgment yet. What World's Finest has had 3 matches in total?
Yeah.
And I don't think Winston has ever done singles, so I don't know what he can bring as a singles player. And it kind of sucks to say, but I think if they do get past this hurdle, that Stacey's going to be the one that kind of carries it a little bit. Team names, I have no idea.
That's perfectly fine. We now move on to the next team, which is someone who I don't know at all. Mark Edward Huck? I think I spelled his last name correctly. And Whitney Seibold with their manager, Johnny LaQuasta. Brianne Chandler, she told me how to say it correctly, and I forgot. Of course, Clark's just happy because Whitney Seibold's still competing. So he'll probably say that the finals are going to be this team and no Sim Bibiani. Or maybe he won't, because maybe he doesn't want to see them play. I don't know. I'm not Clark. I don't know who Mark Edward Huck is. He hasn't been in the Schmoedown as far as my knowledge goes. So I don't really have a lot to say. Don't know. I'm happy Johnny's a great mouthpiece. I'm interested to see what it's going to be like with Johnny. I feel like we're going to get a cold opening or a post-credit scene with him and Mike and Roxy, just given the fact that the 3 are in this together. Malcolm, what do you think about this pairing? Do you know who this Mark dude is?
I don't know, but from what I've seen from the movie trivia Schmoedown page, and that I think he's from a TV show called Beat the Geeks, and they're calling him the Movie Geek. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've not seen that show myself. I don't think it's ever come out in New Zealand. So,
excuses.
But I mean, Brittany being on this team is really good. I mean, he's no slouch. And I mean, if this Mark is as good as people is putting him out to be, then I mean, then this could be a dangerous team. So
yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't know who Ethan Irwin was before Free for All and for his first singles match, and now he's someone who I think could be the singles champion. So who knows? I mean, listen, Christian Harloff is someone who will never bring in like a horrible player who, like, you know, if they're like, what's Star Wars? They're like, oh, well, it's this really, really, really cool book from the 1920s. Like, he's going to bring people who know what they're talking about and can compete. So I'm sure this Mark guy is great. Whitney, of course, we already know he's pretty good. Has been in singles. Interested to see him in singles, though. Hunter, what do you think about this team up?
I'm like you guys. I don't know who this Huck guy really is. I don't watch his channel at all, but like Matt brought up, he's here for a reason. You know, Kristen is going to hire people who know their trivia and know their movies. But it sucks to say that I feel like this is going to be one of those like jobber teams. I'm going like wrestling on you, the jobber teams that they give to one of the higher ups to move them on to the finals or something. But who knows? I could be shocked. I could be surprised. But that's where I'm going for. And for names, I was thinking of like Huck the Duck, just because Mike was like, his name is Howard the Duck.
Whose name is Howard the Duck?
Huck's. He was like, no, that's just Howard the Duck.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, is that a nickname Whitney has? I don't listen to the Crazy Train podcast. No offense, I thought maybe that was all right. You know, let's just move on to the next team and the final team to have a manager in this tournament, which is Eric Zipper of World's Finest and Haley Fouch of that team that I may or may not have talked about their team match this week. It's possible. And their manager is Steel, Lantern, and Flashlight. Light are the same thing. Saunders. Malcolm, what do you think about this team up?
This is a really good team up. Like Zipper, like as I said before, Zipper is really good. From what I can see from his matches, and he knows he's in the geekdom too, so he's got both sort of areas. And I'll talk about the team match a little bit, because I have seen it, but and the Scream Queen's Only Stupid Answers match, like Haley dominated that match. Because in the first round, like she got 7 out of the 8 questions. Well, I can't remember. All the other ones did. I think they got about 5 of that. So I mean, yeah, she was steaming through those questions like they were nothing. So this could be a powerhouse team right here. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember, you know, may or may not have watched this week's team match. That shouldn't matter. I remember Haley being a really good competitor in the first match. And Eric Zipper, of course, is a guy who, you know, he's shown that he can do well in teams. I'm just excited about Steele Saunders. I'm interested to see what he does as a manager. But Hunter, what do you think about this team up?
Oh, definitely. I'm going to back off what Malcolm said. Haley really impressed me in this last match because of how well and how knowledgeable she is in a magnitude of different categories. Of course, her strengths are like horror, because she's on the Witching Hour podcast, which I love that on the Collider podcast channel. First episode was amazing.
That's right.
But Zipper knows his stuff too, whether it's inner geekdom or whether it's regular movies. He's shown that. This is my sleeper team. This is the team I feel like could go a long way in this tournament, just because they work off each other so well. Like Zip's got all the inner geekdom and like nerd stuff down. Haley's got the movies and the horror and the thriller stuff. So I feel like they're going to work well with each other.
Definitely. And now we move on. The next team is Scott Mitz. And you trying to steal my thing?
Yes,
I do the man's impression around here, okay? And Sean Gerber. They're teaming up, and as I said before, guys, there are no more managers. The rest of the teams on here have no managers. Scott Mans, of course, we all know. We all love him from singles. Mostly, a lot of us love him from Team Trek. Sean Gerber, He's played in teams a couple of times. He was in free for all. That's why Scott Mance is a guy who he has the knowledge, he has it. He just needs to be reined in. Not sure if Sean's gonna be able to rein them in. That was the thing about Inman. That's why they worked. Is when Scott would start to get too into it, would start to let the cards get into his head. Inman could most times reel him, pull him back. I'm not sure if Sean's gonna be able to do this, and depending on who they go up against, that might be a detriment. Because if they go up against a Riley and Bateman Dagnino team up, you're gonna have Bateman and Dagnino sort of feeding at Mance, and I'm not sure if Gerber's if Gerber is able to rein it in. I think seeing what they've both done respectively in their own teams, I think this could be an interesting pairing. But Hunter, what do you think about this team up?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a very interesting team up. I don't know that much about Sean. I've watched his Intergeekdom tournament match. The dude is a pretty good IG player. Not sure how he's going to do in regular movies, though. That's what's kind of concerning for me. We know Mance is really good. Hasn't shown it a lot, but we know that Mance is a really good movie player. Again, I hate saying this, but this feels kind of like a jobber team. And I know I'm bringing this up a lot, but it just seems like such a weird pairing that could work, but it could not.
Yeah. Malcolm, are you going to use confusing lingo that I may or may not understand when you talk about this?
I actually think this one has the potential to go far, because I mean, Sean, he was one of the few people who lasted a long time in the free for all, but he was one of the first in, and
he was number one, if I'm not mistaken.
Was that so?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe it was that.
Yeah, he was in the first 5 anyway. So, but yeah, this is a really good pairing. And as Matt said, like, it's all going to depend if Sean can rain down Mance, because. And I mean, this is one that I'm glad wasn't given a manager anyway, because Mance needs no manager. He's got enough excitement and hype to do it himself.
He's got enough tons. Oh my god, that man.
Yeah.
I met him, and god, they're huge guys. It's crazy. Also, by the way, Malcolm, I'm not sure what it is, but Jesus, man, when you were like potential, I don't know, it was I felt like a real Lord of the Rings moment, and it's not just because you're New Zealand. I don't know why. We just need some music in the background when Malcolm's talking about this. Moving on to the next team. We also kind of stopped the whole naming thing, guys, because none of us know this, and it may might have been a thing to pad out the time because Matt didn't watch a teams match this week. This is what happens when you leave Kristen. The next team that we what are you gonna say, Hunter?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah. The next team we have is oh my god. I failed you, Kristen. I failed you. And the next team we have is Alonso Duralde and Matt Ashley. Woo! They're gonna do good. Woo! Malcolm, talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, this team up is really good. I mean, Alonso is from What the Flick, I believe, and I think Matt's on there as well. But both of them are really knowledgeable about movies, and if they both will probably come out in Hawaiian shirts, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, but yeah, both of these teams, that these people are really good, and this is one of the teams which I would be surprised if it gets taken out in the first round because of how good both of them are. And I mean, I'm pretty sure because they're both still on What the Flick, they can actually use the What the Flick name for this. So
yeah, get a little branding in there. I like it. Someone else who likes to get his branding on someone else's show is Hunter. And what do you think about this team?
Oh, I do. I certainly do. I need those views. But this team is very interesting. It all depends on what team they go up against. Because I know that both of these competitors know their stuff, but it really, I mean, I don't know until I see them both in action. I haven't seen Alonso in a lot of action gameplay to say, so I really can't comment on that. Why?
Sorry, I'm a 5-year-old. You were like, I've seen Alonso Duralde in action. I was like, is he gonna say action movies? What? Is he like,
Oh
I've
my
seen him
God.
like Schwarzenegger or something, you know, this guy pull it out. Can he do it? Can he do it? I'm a 5. Oh, God. Well, just bring in Vinny for the last few. I think I should just leave. I'm sorry. Do you have anything more to say, Hunter? No. Okay. So we're
Let's
gonna
just move on.
Move on to the next and a really interesting pairing. We have Lon Harris and JT. Oh my lord. So first thing, everyone has made the jokes about Lon is yes, we are Abe. It's at the very end.
I didn't ask. Malcolm.
Oh, I thought that was dude. I thought that was you asking.
Kyle's Malcolm.
Yeah. God damn it, Malcolm. Read the chat from before. God. So of course everyone has made the jokes about the fact that Lon Harris is the professor. You know, professors, you know, they like to spell really well. They like to give good grades for people who spell well. And JT is JTE. So yeah, it's probably going to be funny. It's probably going to be like the first joke in the round one. But let's focus on the thing that is Lon Harris has shown really good singles competitor. JT has also shown really good singles competitor and an even better teams competitor. I think this is the team that could possibly win the tournament. Like, they could. They could easily sort of just... just going back to, like, no one thought that JT would be able to win the 2015 tournament with Finstock. They went to the finals, and that was with Finstock. JT held the team belt for a year and some change. And now you're putting him on with a competitor who's shown he's really good. I think this could be the sneaky superstar team. Malcolm, what do you think about this team up?
Yeah, I mean, this one is an interesting team up, and I mean, and like I really want to see a post-credit scene of Lon just got JT sitting in his seat and going and teaching him how to spell. It's like, just with a whole bunch of random movie-related words. It's like, there's one will be a fun post-credit scene. Two is like it's the joke that everyone's been making anyway, so it makes sense to capitalize on that. So, but with this team, it's one that could go far, because I mean Lon's shown he's really good, and JT he's not a bad competitor either. It's like he's gone from he's kind of one of those ebbs and flows. Like, he may have a bout of success, then have a few failures, but then he gets back up again. And so I mean, he's not consistent, but he's still good either way.
Wow, Malcolm just with the hot takes today. Nice. I really hope competitors don't watch our show, or else they're not going to be fans of you afterwards. They'll be like, what have you done, Malcolm? What have your ebbs and flows been? How are you doing? Hunter, what do you think about this team up? Other question: Do you think
Perfect
Cody
team
Hall is?
up.
Do you think Cody Hall is also going to be a surprise manager of the team? He's going to pull that
Oh
out.
my god! But this is a perfect team up. I'm just ready to see Lon Harris teaching JTE how to spell certain words, and like the whole like backstage areas and like the little skits they do are just going to be priceless. Lon Harris he knows his stuff. He definitely shows it, but he's also a very good entertainer. He can entertain for the crowd and for the camera. So can JTE. He can play that character so well. He's also a really good competitor on himself. This is a good team, but I don't know if they can make it all the way to the finals.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. Just you come on my show. I just, I had a nice little prediction. And Hunter's just like, no, it's not Kristen. Give it to me. She's not here. It's mine now. This is my achievement, not yours. Just quoting movies here now.
Oh my god.
Let's move on to the next one, which is Dan Murrell and John Roca. This is one that I wasn't shocked was a team up. No offense to Dan Murrell, John Roca. They're probably going to do great things, but I felt like Dan Murrell was going to be put with one of the horsemen, and I thought that was going to happen. In fact, Roca out of all the horsemen is an interesting choice, but this is just the randomness of the Anarchy tournaments. I just feel like there's nothing to either one of them. I just feel like they have too many similar strengths. That's my one thing. I feel like they don't have a lot of like we've been talking about, like there's a lot of competitors who have like the inner geekdom stuff that another person might not have covered. I don't really feel like, and John Roca has been studying. He wants to play inner geekdom Star Wars, so who knows? But as of right now, as it stands, I feel like they're a little bit too similar. They're probably going to do great things. They're probably going to make it pretty far in this tournament, but I'm not sure if they're walking away with the victory. Hunter, what do you think about this team up?
There's not really that much to say. You've got two of the greats teaming up with Dan Murrell and John Roca. I do agree with you, Matt, that they have similar strengths, so I'm not sure how that's going to work together. If like one gets a geek category, the other one doesn't, So it's up in the air, but they're without doubt either going to make the semis or the finals.
Yeah, Malcolm, what do you think about this team up?
They're okay. No, in all seriousness, this is probably
They're just okay.
You know what? Knowing the things you said this episode, Malcolm, I 100% believe that you were like, it's fine, it's okay. I believed it. I was like, oh, okay, Malcolm.
No, this is one of the teams that's really excited me because, they'll probably just go off the name of the Horsemen for this because it makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, it's Roca and Murrell. They're two of the greats. You've got the GOAT and you've got the Outlaw together. It's like such a great pairing.
No. Everyone wanted Andrew Guy and John Roca to be on the team. It's Dan Murrell he's competing with. You misspoke there, Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Just covering you, okay? That's a gift. It's just gonna be
Malcolm.
Oh man! And behind that is Kristen. And of course, guys, this is the perfect time to talk about that. Coy Jandrew was picked to be live event manager, which meant whoever he was teamed up with to be manager, they were going to be taking on, of course, September 8th, guys. Full screen live. You could get your tickets for the Schmoedown live event 3. Yeah, this is the third one they're doing. And of course, we now know Dan Murrell and John Roca. Dan Murrell, of course, his partner is John Roca. They will be facing Stacey Howard and Winston Marshall. That is going to be the first match in the tournament. And who knows, because of when we record this, we might know the other matchups. I don't know. Let's just talk about the last. This team up, of course, someone on Take 3 who I know, who I chatted with after this all came out, was very excited that this was happening, but he might not be excited because it might not happen. We have Drew McWeeny and Clark Wolf.
Yes.
I'm gonna go.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to Abe first. Abe, how excited are you that they're a team?
Look,
They're two of your
I'm
favorites.
gonna leave you on camera because there's gonna come out a picture, and I don't want to turn on my camera first.
Oh, that's fine.
But look, before the announcement, I was talking to Matt, and he asked me, "Which team do you want to see?" And what did I tell you, Matt?
McWeeny and Wolf.
What happened, Matt?
McWeeny and Wolf.
Exactly. This is the team that's gonna stay. I don't know what's gonna happen with the Shire Wolves and Brian and his mystery partner and her mystery partner. But the only thing I know, this is the best team of the whole tournament. They're gonna win. They will destroy anybody. Have you seen in terms of knowledge and like they can
Just
cover each other?
Just knowledge.
Yeah, no, yeah, like they can cover each other's souls. Like McQueen may not be as good at horror, but Clark is, and Clark may not be good in 50s and 60s and 70s movies, but McQueen is. This is the most complete team in the whole tournament. If you want to argue that, you can send an email to fuckyou@gmail.com.
Yes. Let's also just remind Abe that if Clark plays too well against Brienne Chandler at the Shire Wolves, this team up's not gonna happen.
Send the email, please.
I will gladly send an email. Malcolm, what do you think about this team up?
I was actually really excited when this come up because just going through when the matches were happening is like, well, McGreeny hasn't come out yet, or neither is Clark, and so I was feeling that maybe they're going to end up together because like this was near the end of it. It's like. And I mean, there are other big names that weren't drawn, but they could be alternates if Shire Wolves or Brienne do win. But yeah, so this is a really great team, and I mean, I really hope that if Shire Wolves do win, that McGreeny isn't stuck with Humberto Gonzalez. So,
wow, again, the shots, hot take,
Shots fired.
Hunter, what do you think about this team up?
This is a great team up. I love McWeeny. I love Wolf. The only problem I might have is the same thing with Roka and Merle. I feel like they're Wolf and McWeeny and Wolf are going to have kind of the similar strengths. Maybe Wolf can take over
that
the
email at fuckyou@gmail.com.
I will. I will send that email to you. But other than that, this team is great if it happens. I hope it does, but I have Shire Wolves winning the tag belts. But
so, I love this team. Clark Wolf, one of my top 3 favorite competitors. I like Drew McWeeny a lot, so I do like this team up. But this brings up, because that was, of course, the last team. So this brings up an interesting talking point, which is, if the Shire Wolves win, do we think McWeeny and Guy get put together? And, you know, like, what happens to these teams depending on who wins? Because, you know, do all the hats of the people left over get thrown in? If Brienne loses, does her mystery teammate, if they're not already competing, does that get thrown in? What do we think is going to happen depending on the winner of the team titles? Malcolm, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to see Drew and Guy get thrown together, because then you've got the team name of just Drew Guy. But I don't think that's going to happen, sadly. But I think they've got alternates in place, because there's a few pit teams in there which only half the team was selected, like Sabina Graves wasn't picked, Inman wasn't there, Gray Drake wasn't there. So I mean, you've got those as possible alternates, maybe. So yeah, I think they're going to draw a couple extra names out of the hat, like if after the title match, and you've got the alternates for the other players.
Hunter, what do you think will happen depending on the results of the team title match?
Yeah, I'm pretty much with Malcolm. I think they have alternates written down, and what they'll probably do is draw them out of the hat, same as before, make it random, and then there you go. So alternates are going to be randomized, and then they'll have their teammates that way.
Yeah. So let's move on to who is your guys' favorite team, and who do you think is going to win this tournament? They can be the same, they can be different. Hunter, I'll start with you.
Okay, well, my favorite team, and this might be just personal, but Kalinowski and Ellison, I think they're going to dominate. I don't know if they're going to win. My pick on who's going to win, screw it. I'll go Kalinowski, Ellison. They're going to win the whole thing.
All right. Malcolm, who is your favorite team, and who do you think is going to win the tournament?
Yeah, like my favorite team is Cushing and Guy. Because I mean, it's just that interesting pairing with on there. You can go places with. And the team I think is going to win, I actually think Bibs and Nose could pull it off. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. My favorite team, of course, Riley, Bateman, of course. I also think they're going to win the tournament. But besides that, I think that, at least for me right now, again, depending on things, I think it's either the McWeeny-Wolf combination or it's Harris-JT. Personally, I think those two teams, it'd be interesting. But we also have, this is the perks of recording after days when we normally would, and maybe after other shows that get more views than ours record. We now have the schedule for the Anarchy tournament. Now, this is not the bracket. Harloff has just posted this like an hour ago, which now, if you're good with times of things, you'll now know when we record the summit. But we have the matchups. So, of course, we already know the first matchup was going to be the team of Roca and Merle versus Marshall Howard. The next matchup is going to be Snyder and Draco versus Mance and Gerber. Then we are going to have JT and Harris versus Wild Bears. Then we'll have Bibbs and Nost versus Chandler and Stewart. We'll have Riley and Bateman versus Zipper Fouch. McWeeny and Wolf versus Movie Geek and Cybold. Kalinowski and Ellison versus Guy and Cushing. And then finally, Irwin and the Machine versus Duralde and Ashby. This is a pretty stacked tournament. I'm really interested when the bracket comes out. But which match are you guys most excited for now that it's been announced? Malcolm, we're going to go to you first.
I'm going to go with Kalinowski Ellison versus Guy Cushing. This is a really tough match to predict. It's because, I mean, once again, you've got Kalinowski and Rachel just as the classic feud that's been going on for ages. But yeah, this matchup is just interesting. It's just hard to pick because all four are really good players. So,
Hunter, what is your most anticipated matchup, I guess?
I'm pretty much the same with Malcolm with Kalinowski and Chance versus Guy and Cushing because, one, yeah, all four are great players, so it's going to be a very close match. But another thing, Guy is known for going after people like this, like the late to the parties and stuff like that. So I'm kind of interested to see what he does with Chance, the mind games that he might play with Chance. I want to see how that's going to work. And him and Kalinowski are going to be a great team, and I've got Kalinowski and Ellison winning.
First thing, he goes after people like late to the party. There's other channels cough cough, that it kind of holds up as being scholars and gentlemen because we're awesome.
Like that
Just
takes
saying.
17 that we've heard so much about.
I'm sorry, what is that?
Like that take 17 we've heard so much about.
Yeah, those guys are great. Of course, I mean, yeah, Riley Bateman, of course, but besides that, I'm really looking forward to Erwin Machine versus Duralde and Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a powerhouse match. That's definitely gonna be a hard to predict match.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, God, I'm really excited. So guys, that's pretty much it for our show. I apologize to the team match on Tuesday. Work is crazy. I kind of didn't get to watch it, but this was mostly about the Anarchy tournament because we're so excited for the craziness that is coming. But there's some other form of craziness related to the Schmoedown that is already out that you can view, which is Take 3's Linus Babcock and Abe Flores competed in a Schmoedown history Schmoedown match. What is that, you might ask? Well, do you think you know the Schmoedown? Do you? And I don't mean do you know that it's a show on YouTube. Do you know things like what costume did Mark Ellis wear in his first match ever in the Schmoedown? Do you know that stuff? Do you know that stuff? Because it's a thing now, and it's on the Collider podcast channel, formerly SK Plus. You can go and watch out these two titans battle it out, or you can just wait until September when the real titan battles it out in a fatal four-way featuring me and Albert from He Does Schmoedown Reactions. We also have Evan. You remember him? Because I didn't. And we also have Timson. He was there just because he likes losing to me in matches, I guess. That's a throwback to the fan Schmoedown League for you guys. Am I being cocky? Maybe. Maybe that's all I got going for me. I don't know. But that match drops. That Fatal 4-Way is going to drop sometime in September. There might be a date. I don't know. People don't tell me things. I just compete. But again, guys, the Linus 8th match, it's already up. Go check it out. Great stuff.
August 16, apparently.
That's when my match is dropping?
Yeah, that's what Clark said in the chat. So.
Oh. Well.
And Frank versus Galicki on the 23rd.
That's right. Yeah. That's another one that's happening is Frank. You guys know him. He's from another show that's not the Summit. He is facing the head question writer, Chris Seliski, in a match as well, and that match drops August 23rd, and my match apparently does not drop in September. It drops on August 16th. So, yeah. Really exciting stuff coming, guys, and that's not the only matches. There were, oh, Lord, if you're part of the Take 3 page, there are a lot of people who want to compete in this stuff. Well, to break up the monotony of all this stuff, let's go to the fantasy updates with Vinny. Vinny, take it away. Yo, what's up, guys? It's Vinny here for the fantasy update. So all you guys, you guys all thought you were too cool for school? You didn't think about giving me a job or nothing? Okay, I see how it is. But I'm back now, everybody. I know what you're thinking. Vinny, we haven't seen you for so long. You got your hair all long like a hippie and all this stuff. Well, that's what happens when I don't get paid. I can't. Hey, man, Joey's $1 haircuts, they cost money, guys, okay? And I got, Stallone memorabilia is not cheap. And I spend all my money on that and run for a closet that I will get to Matt by the end of the week, I swear. But I'm here to do the Take 3 fantasy update. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the Take 3 standing. What's that? Did you forget? Cause I sure did. We're gonna see who's winning this stuff. So in first place we got Super Epic X Team Abe with 591 points going on you. Then we got in second place in Morton Jen Schmoeboys. Them Schmoeboys, they got 473 points. Then in third place, we got Ian Gorgie. Now I know what a Gorgie is, and it's just a dog. It's just a dog. Why is it not Team Dog? Why is it Team Gorgie? I don't know. But a Team Liars, it's got 459 points. Okay, cool. Then we got in fourth place, the loser Matt with the Yodi Alliance, and he's got 366 points. Okay, good work. You're not a total loser. In fifth place, we got the Penguins, Chrissy the Clock. He's got 318 points. You guys know he looks like Danny DeVito a little bit. I know Danny DeVito. Taxi, that is a wonderful show. You should really check it out. Tony Danza, he's a god amongst men, okay? Who's the boss? Tony Danza's the boss. In sixth place, we got something that I like to call Abe, Tiny Garrett's, with 291 points. Then we got a guy who I don't even know who he is, the Movie Geek. He's only got 221 points. I don't even think I should mention him. This dude might feel bad if he watches this. But of course, that's it. No one's trading. No one's trading. I don't know why no one's trading. Why aren't you trading, guys? I have no idea. But yeah. So that's it for the Take 3 fantasy updates. You can follow me, Vinny, at Vinny Stallone 76 on Twitter. And listen, guys, I'm going to be launching my own Patreon real soon. It's going to be awesome, okay? It's going to be sweet. And it's definitely not a ploy to just give me free money and I won't give you a product. It's definitely not that. I swear. It's real stuff. I got to go because I got to go and meet my parole officer. I meet my uncle for lunch. Bye. So let's just... Last thing real quick is I'm just going to go through next week's matches. We have on August 7th, we have Cushing versus Kanopik. And then on August 10th, we have Kalinowski versus Hlavik. Both of these matches are a part of the Intergate tournament. Yeah, this is really exciting stuff. And then on August 14th, we have Andraco versus Irwin. Real quick around the board. Cushing, Kanopik. Who do you think is going to win? I think Cushing has this. Hunter, Malcolm, do you guys disagree with me?
I have Cushing winning.
Okay. Malcolm?
Yeah, I mean, I've got Cushing, but no pick is no slouch. She could pull an upset, so...
Oh, yeah, without doubt. I mean...
She's definitely shown that she could pull the upset, but I just think Rachel just has the drive. Like, I've always said, the Intergate bout is the one she wants the most. And so I just think that's, like, it's the difference between the newbie and the veteran in this case. Then we have Kalinowski, Hlavik. I think Kalinowski's going to win it. I think he's on a roll. I like Adam, but I think Mike has shown that he's put in the time to study. And I think he's certainly shown that Harry Potter round in his last match that, like, there's very little that he doesn't know. Malcolm, who do you think is going to win this one?
I'm actually going to say Hlavik. I think Hlavik could topple Mike.
Okay. Hunter, do you agree with me or Malcolm?
Oh, I agree with you, Matt. I have KO winning. Like you said, KO has just shown, especially since all this corruption and heel turn things, that he's a more all-around player, and he shows it in his last match when he got Harry Potter, which is normally his weakness, and he crushed that category.
Yeah, speaking of Harry Potter, you guys can now find on our channel the rank 'em episode for top 10 or top 12. I'm not sure which Harry Potter characters. You guys can find that on our channel now. And then, of course, Andraco Irwin. I think Irwin's going to win. I like Market Jacob, but I think Irwin, I think he's going to win it. Malcolm, who do you think is going to win this one?
I think this is tough. I think Andraco might come very close. So I think Andraco by a very small margin.
Okay, and Hunter, who do you think is going to win?
See, this one's is going to be a very close match. It's going to be a very good match. It's very hard to choose because both of them have shown, especially recently, that they are power players. I'm leaning towards Andraco. I think he's shown a way more rounded game, especially in his last 2 or 3 matches, that I think he might squeeze out the win.
Okay. So that, guys, that is it for the summit this week. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Now let's go around the board and tell the good people where you can find them. We're going to start off with first our guest, Hunter. Where can the good people find you?
You guys can find me on my YouTube channel at Film Nerd TV. My Patreon, my Stardust, and my Twitch channel are at Film Nerd TV and Film Nerd Gaming on Twitch.
Malcolm, where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Take 3 Productions hosting my show Rankin, where the latest one we've got up on the channel is Harry Potter characters. As Matt stole my plug earlier, but
well,
and you can also
conversation afterwards.
You can also find me competing in trivia all over the place on Worldwide Movie Games.
Malcolm's just hoping if he competes a lot like Chance, then maybe one day he'll be in California and Christian Hoff will just open up a door and be like, hey, you want to compete? I've never seen him before. And Malcolm would be like, I'm on Take 3. And he's like, oh, you are? Which one are you? You're not Clark. You don't have a beard. Matt, when did you get an accent? Now, we all love Malcolm. I think Karloff loves him the most, but Simon kind of loves him.
No, well, actually, I'm sure Chris will go, you're the one who didn't put me in the top 10.
That was you! All right. Damn, Merle, you got a new competitor. Get in there! And then Malcolm beats Dan Merle.
Malcolm wins. Go get him, Malcolm!
Oh, okay. You guys, as always, can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMoody611 on YouTube, right here. Second Look, it's coming back in September, but if you need your fill of Man on Take 3 and reactions aren't enough, I am now the temporary host of the summit, and don't worry, guys, next week I will do my job a lot better than I did it this week, I promise you. And please, guys, I beg you, if he launches a Patreon, don't give Vinny any money. Ever. He will not deliver on any promises. Trust me. And Abe, if you want to plug yourself where people can find you, besides the Schmoedown movie trivia, Schmoedown,
I'm not
something.
the kind of person that likes to plug himself.
Okay. Now, I can take that a couple of different ways, but, you know.
I knew you were going to say that, Matt.
But you can find Abe competing in the Schmoedown History Schmoedown match. I forget what the actual title of it is, but it's on the Collider podcast channel right now. So that's it. You can follow Take 3 at Take 3 Video on Twitter, not on YouTube. On YouTube or Take 3 Productions. Subscribe to us. Did you like this video? That's awesome if you did. Give us a like, give us a comment, share the video around, get us viewed. Word of mouth helps us so much. And if you want us to start a Patreon because you want to give us money, or if you want a TeePublic because you need Vinny's face on a shirt, let us know, because then maybe we'll do it. I don't know. So that's it. For everyone on the panel, for the rest of Take 3, take care.
I just love it all waiting for
Am I supposed to say something like I like black rosters or something?